Alright, so for number one, the first thing I would do is read the question. Which table correctly shows the locations of the three subatomic particles in an atom? I'm looking at the choices. I see the three subatomic particles in all three choices are electron, proton, and neutron. And then I see my options for location are valence shell and the nucleus. So just to help myself remember, I'm just going to quickly draw an atom. And I've got the nucleus in the middle, and then I know the positive protons are there. And then I usually draw the shells around it. And I know that these are representing my electrons. Okay, if I couldn't remember where the neutrons were, I'd still have enough right now to figure it out. Because here are my protons and there are my electrons. And so I'm looking around. Protons are in the nucleus, that's right. Okay, protons are in the valence shells, B, that's wrong. So I'm going to cross that one off. So I'm going to cross off B. Protons in the nucleus, that's right. And protons in the valence shells, that's wrong. So I know D is wrong. And then I'm going to look at the electrons. Okay, in my electrons, they are not in the nucleus in my picture. So that makes A wrong. So that's not right. So now I know A is wrong. And so that lets me know that C is the correct answer. Now I'm going on to the second one. Either. Can you bring me a periodic table? Going on to the second one, it's asking which of the following elements has both metallic and non-metallic properties. If something is both metallic and non-metallic, that's letting me know already that this has to be a metalloid. Okay, and I remember from all of our practice before that a metalloid is something that's touching the staircase on the periodic table. Periodic table of elements, PT. So I'm going to go ahead and check my answers. I've got AR as one choice, it's right here. Okay, GE as another, starting with AR, it is not touching the staircase. It's in that last group, so that means it's a noble gas. So I know A is wrong. Then I'm going to look at GE. GE is touching the staircase, it's right underneath it, so I think that's the right answer. I'm going to label that one as metalloid. I'm still going to check the others just in case. The next one is MG. It's all the way over here on the left-hand side of the periodic table. I know that's where the metals are. So this is a metal. So that lets me know that one's wrong. Okay, I'm going to look at S. It's right here on the right side of the staircase, so it's a non-metal. So I'll write that down. And so now I know that this one is also incorrect. And so for number 2, the best answer is GE. Okay, turning now to number 3. The table below provides some information about an unidentified element. Okay? Physical properties: shiny silver-colored solid, easily flattened with a small hammer, denser than water, has 4 valence electrons. Chemical properties: does not react with sodium, reacts solely with oxygen. Based on this information, the unidentified element is best classified as which of the following? Okay, so I see my choices. 2 of them are metals and 2 of them are, or one's a non-metal and one's a metalloid. So the first thing I want to do is figure out, well, does this make sense as a metal or a non-metal, or a metalloid? So if it's shiny, that means it has luster, so it's probably a metal. And if it's easily flattened with a small hammer, that means it's malleable. So this is also a metal. I'm going to write malleable next to that one. If it's denser than water, that's not really that helpful for me. We didn't really learn how elements relate to density yet. Okay, and if it has 4 valence electrons, that means it has 4 electrons on the outside. I don't really know how I'll use that yet, so I'm going to keep checking. So all my evidence over here makes it think that it's probably a metal. So I'm going to go ahead and cross off choice C and choice D. So now I gotta decide if is it a metal in group 1 or a metal in group 14. So I'm going to look at my groups. Okay, here are the metals in group 1. And now I can use that valence electron piece. All of these have 1 valence electron, so it's probably not a metal in group 1. And if I look in group 14, the metals, so not C, not SA, not GE, but SN is a metal, and it's in group 14. It has 4, and so does Pb. Since those both have 4 valence electrons, my guess is that B is the correct answer. And I'm going to connect those 2 pieces of evidence to show that they are connected to each other. So I'll cross off A. Okay, let's move on to number 4. Okay, the figure below shows a periodic table with the position of one element indicated by an X. Okay, so see that here. How would the element in position X be classified? All right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and sketch on my periodic table real quick. So here's my staircase. I know right here in this last group are the noble gases. Okay, this is not in the last column, so I don't think it's a noble gas. I'm going to go ahead and cross off C. Okay, everything to the left, that's where all the metals are. So I don't think X is a metal, so I'm going to go ahead and cross off A. So I narrowed it down to B and D. And it's kind of tricky because it's like, it's in this non-metal corner, but maybe it's touching the staircase, so I'm going to try and figure out some more. Okay, here's that last column, so it looks like this is about 2 columns over from that. And so if I look at my periodic table, the thing that's 2 columns over on the top is O. So this is probably O. And if I figure it out, O is not touching the staircase, so O is for non-metal. So I'm going to cross off metalloid also. Okay, it's probably oxygen. Okay. And going to question 5. Okay, given its location on the periodic table, which property does the element mark X most likely have? Okay, so this one's similar to the last one. So here's my staircase again, sketching it on there. Okay, X is in the metal part of the periodic table. And so a couple of things I know about metals, since we're talking about properties. Some properties of metals are that they are malleable, okay, they are shiny, or they have luster, okay, they are good conductors of heat and electricity, okay, and they are ductile. Okay, those were all from our flashcards. So now I can go ahead and check if it crumbles easily. I'm thinking of like a penny as a metal, and pennies don't really crumble, so that doesn't really make sense. It's ductile, that does fit, so that seems right. So I listed off ductile already. Is it a thermal insulator? Insulator is the opposite of conductor, so that is not true. Okay, and it's chemically inert. I'm not really sure, we didn't go over the word inert in class before, but I am already thinking it was going to be ductile because I had already matched that with a metal, so I'm going to go ahead and go with B here. Okay, by the way, chemically inert means it does not react. Okay, and that's not the case. This is only true for noble gases. All right, that's questions 1 through 5. If you want to go on to 6 through 10, they are on a different video. Okay, but you can go ahead and check the rest of your answers there.